Kyler, thank you. Congress is divided. If a deal to fund the government isn't reached by the end of the week, Americans will likely feel the effects. The Women, Infants, and Children program, also known as WIC, is one of the federal programs that would no longer function during a shutdown. National correspondent Maya Rodriguez has the details.
The colorful cornucopia of fruits and vegetables found in grocery stores across the country could get much harder to afford for those in the Women, Infants, and Children program, known as WIC, a potential government shutdown on the mind of Michael J. Wilson with the nonprofit Maryland Hunger Solutions.
I am worried about the potential impact on WIC. Knowing that if they don't do a full funding and take care of the business that's in front of them, then we really could have pregnant women and moms and children and babies being held hostage.
The USDA says that in 2022, more than 6 million people each month benefited from the WIC program, including 39% of all infants in America, at an annual cost of $5.7 billion. But a government shutdown means money would no longer flow into the program, according to U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack, whose department oversees WIC.
That program expires, if you will, or stops immediately when the shutdown occurs. We have a contingency fund at USDA that might continue it for a day or two. Some states may have leftover WIC benefits that have not been spent, which could extend it for a week or so in that state. But the vast majority of WIC participants would see an immediate reduction and elimination of those benefits.
But the program's problems run deeper, according to the National WIC Association.
The agriculture appropriations bills that are being considered in both the House and Senate do not provide enough resources to serve projected caseloads. And that's not even going near a continuing resolution or a possible shutdown.
Should a shutdown occur, federal money for the program left over at the state level will continue to be distributed until it runs out, state by state.
It will be a rolling crisis, one state at a time and one family at a time. And I'm concerned that that might mean that it slips under the radar,
which could potentially place added pressure on food banks, already straining under inflation and declining donations.
We know that the charitable food system, food pantries, and food banks play a vital role. And I think for people who get in a very desperate situation, they should certainly avail themselves of that opportunity. But I don't want to make any mistake. The biggest player in the food system is the federal government.
As for those who need the food provided by the WIC program,
try to take a deep breath and do what you can to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your family. But so much of this is out of our control. This is in the control of our elected leaders.
Leaders who will now decide whether a shutdown comes next. Maya Rodriguez, Scripps News, Washington.